Hello, this is the UTDesign project proposal for a UTD Engineering Connect application for the Johnson School. Our project description is a mobile application that will deliver news, events, jobs, information of various types to alumni and partners, basically anybody that can download the app from an app store. We're looking at basic functionality to be able to push out news, events, job openings that are submitted. Um, why we're really wanting to keep in touch with the student population and keep everybody kind of networking and aware of what's going on campus. There's lots that goes on, and we really could use an ECE Connect type of app to bring these kind of things to everybody through a standard interface. It would have local and virtual connections, some basic customization to the user interface and the user experience, nothing too overly complicated, and just the ability to add some back-end data to the thing to show job applications and news. And for incentives, we'd like to give out like some swag maybe from the UTD store or something like that. What we're going to require is that this application looks like pretty much everything else that's popular in the app stores today. A clean, modern user interface, nothing old or clunky or glassy or anything like that, a flat, modern UI. We're going to use the LinkedIn API to connect people. So presumably a lot of the alumni already have a LinkedIn account, and you can use those credentials to log in. So this is not going to be something where we have to ask people to create yet another username or password, and it's nothing that we have to manage the authentication for, which is really nice. We want to be able to provide up-to-date news, gathering a show event, sign-ups, things like that, that would go through our contact people to be able to reach out to the alumni and just let them know what's going on. Basically, just pick up some standard event text and be able to push it out to the app. It looks a little fancier on screen than it really is. A deliverable would be something that is actually going to show up in the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store, and hopefully would utilize some notification infrastructure for both OSs. What we're looking for as far as the tech behind this thing goes, we're going to need obviously mobile app development. And coding's one thing, but we're also going to need the other side of the coin, which is a UI, UX. We're going to need people with some skills to help us create tabs and dialogues and good colors and things like that. Going to have some experience or get some experience with remote API authorization into LinkedIn. It's going to use the OAuth technology, which pretty much powers everything else that you see that you use mobile app-wise, so that's a standard. And then, of course, web services, we're going to have to be able to push out news, job openings, things like that, probably through JSON, I would imagine. It may be a little premature to talk about languages, I believe is the feedback that I heard earlier. So just offhand, I was saying there's probably two ways to do it as far as a high level goes. I mean, there's always a million ways to do these things, but basically it comes down to everyone nowadays is either using React Native, which enables you to just use some JavaScript, the same thing that powers all of our pages that we like so much, Gmail and Facebook and things like this. Or you can use a Qt toolkit, Submarine. Why would you want to participate in this project? This is an awesome project. This is something that's actually going to have a lot of visibility, and it's going to be touched by a lot of people, and you could point to an actual deliverable, on an interview or anywhere else. It's a good resume item to say, hey, look, this is an application that I created. This isn't, an automation that picks up a file from a server and moves it to another server, something like this. This is something that should be kind of exciting and cool and utilizes some good job skills. I mean, mobile apps and web services and responsive design are the highest demand skills nowadays. If you want to get in on something like that and work on a project that would actually help UTD and could potentially grow to have tens of thousands of users, this may be what you're looking for. Again, it may be a little early to talk about exact technology, but when it comes down to it, if you're going to use something like React, it's basically just web skills. Cascading style sheets, JavaScript, JavaScript object notation, web services, OAuth, things like this is what we're going to come down to looking at being used. Again, if you end up using React Native as a foundation for this, it powers quite a lot of apps on your iOS and Android device now, whether you know it or not. What we're looking for core design wise is something that would be clean and consistent across both of the platforms. As you can see here, we want it to look the same on iOS and Android, so pretty much agnostic um, as far as the platform that it runs on. We want a common interface. We want to utilize the same UTD, get gold and greens and things like that, and maybe our new logo as well. Basically just a modern design, right? We want it to look like everything else that's out there. We're not trying to fork or be weird. As far as just having some general ideas, we're not trying to show you how to, we're not giving you the deliverable. It's going to be up to the team to see what they come up with, but more or less we want it to look like a standard type of thing. Like here's some examples of what a news feed would look like. I can imagine a news feed's going to look like a news feed. The same for events, any kind of cool calendar. Maybe we could drop a pin on the UTD map and say, hey, it's going to be over at this building, or hey, go park over here. That would be kind of cool. The same for jobs. Any kind of job feed that we're going to get from the UTD staff, we're going to push out and display somehow. These are just some examples of that. Here's a job, here's where it is, here's what it pays, things like that. Also, as far as rewards go, we want to be able to engage people. Everybody wants you to download their app and use it. It can be kind of, tiresome or cumbersome. So we'd like to give people what, they actually show up for around campus, which is if you give out t-shirts or food, everybody shows up. So maybe we could utilize some reward system where we give out something cool that would be related to UTD. Maybe we could give out comic crates, so you could show up somewhere and get a box and maybe have a shirt in it or something like that. Or maybe every time you participate in an event or show up on campus or post a job, you could earn some whoosh bits and then you could trade those in eventually. Cool and creative is what we're looking for here. And that's basically the bottom line. So we hope you would sign up to work on this UTDesign project, and we appreciate your time.